the demonstrated ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities, some students are exceptionally amazing. Join me on Breaking Limit as I profile first-class graduates from different institutions of learning. Hi everyone, welcome to the maiden edition of Breaking Limit, a program where we profile first-class graduates in order to inspire our viewers, most especially students, to strive for academic excellence. On the show with me today, I have an amazing personality, a first-class graduate whose story is going to inspire you. Welcome with me, Nzube Favor. Favor, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
It's really an honor to have you here.
Yeah,
So can we get to know more about you? Tell me about you.
Okay, my name is Ekpunobi Nzube Favor.
Okay.
I'm a graduate of the University of Lagos, and I studied microbiology.
Amazing.
Where I graduated the first class.
Wow, a first class. Like that's the top of it, or like a first class.
Yes.
How did you come about? Like, was it like a decision that you made before now? Or probably something happened that you felt like, no, I have to just go for this first class or nothing else. What's the vision behind it?
Okay. My mom have always inspired me to be the best that I can be. Coming up from a very humble background where I wanted the best for everything that I do. I've always strived to be the best, not just in my own personal pursuits, but among my own peers also. So that has always been the spurring factor, pushing me forward to get the first class every section, every semester. Because I also want to beat the past record I have created. So I want to do better the next semester.
So were you able to achieve that?
Yes, I was able to achieve that to some extent.
So is it good to say that your mom is one of your inspiration?
Yes, my mom is my biggest inspiration.
Amazing.
And also my biggest fan.
Yeah, amazing. I can only imagine Edge on your convocation day now.
Oh wow, yes. I hardly wore my gown. She actually wore the gown most of the time.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at it in the current situation of the country and the fact that a lot of people kind of stay back when they hear first class. There's this image of you don't have to disturb yourself, just do what you can do and just. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, personally, I believe it is just good to be the best at what you do. I don't think you would want to lay your hands on something and not get the best out of it. As long as I've decided to do a particular thing, I should be getting the best out of it. So I don't think it's actually a difficult task to get a first class. Getting a first class is just being the best for every semester. So why am I going to school in the first place? To study and to be the best. So getting the first class is just as me making the decision to be the best at what I'm doing. And as Christians, the Bible also let us know that whatever your hands find it to do,
you do it well. I think I love that. Okay, so now let's look at it. How has life been after school as a first class graduate?
Yes, I would really say life after school as a first class graduate hasn't been as expected actually. You know, we were told just leave school the first class and you would have a job, you have companies running after you. Yeah, but the story is different actually, because the country does not have a job waiting for you to come pick up. What the country is waiting for are people that can create opportunity. So outside there, from the four walls of the university, it's how much can you offer? What can you give? How much of your personality have you built up during your years in school? That is what would actually make you stand out outside the four walls of the university.
Well, I think I'm just going to come in from there, talking about the things that you have to offer apart from what you have been taught in the four walls of the university. So looking at it, were you ever at a point where you probably acquired a skill or something when you were on campus?
Okay, while I was on campus, I wouldn't say I actually went directly to acquire a skill.
Okay.
For 100 level, I wanted the first class degree. It was all turbulent in my head. Second year, I also wanted it. But in 200 level, while I interned, I started getting exposed to the real world scenario, where I realized that it's not actually by what you read, because I had to look for months to get a placement to intern. Then I realized that getting the job actually isn't that easy. So I started looking at, okay, what are things I can actually do? So I started learning fashion designing.
Fashion designing.
Yes.
As a first class.
As a first class student. Yes, it's funny.
Wow.
But I was also learning fashion designing as a first class student in my 20 level. But also started learning how to build myself.
So building yourself in what form?
My communication skill, I had to tuition it up because I knew it's not just about what I studied. Okay, I studied microbiology, so it's not all about microorganisms. How can I present myself? So can I have conversations with people when it's not talking about microorganisms? If I'm talking about finance, can I have a conversation? If we're talking about the economy, can I have a conversation?
Talking about politics,
can I have a conversation? Can I contribute? So I had to build myself. I had to know more things. So I started looking at learning about the economy of Nigeria, the economy of the world, then about finance. I also had to learn about the Microsoft Office itself, learn Excel, learn Word, presentation.
I don't think they will teach you this in the class.
Nobody's going to sit down and teach you these things.
Very true.
You have to get busy, get your hand dirty and work, learn how to do these things before leaving the school, because these are the things that you will get to use when you're out of school.
They really do count.
Yes, they really do count.
I really love the fact that you tilt towards skills, because a lot of people kind of assume that the moment you're on that first class, it's an automatic way that is open, then my daughter just come through it and then everything is settled.
It's not really automatic, because there are people already working in that sphere that you want to go in and work for. So are you going to chase them away from that position? No. So while you're waiting for them to retire, you must be doing something.
Very true.
And also one of the things that changed my mentality was while I was working with a top multinational in my 20 level while I was interning, one of the directors told me that getting to school to get a certificate is not actually to get you a job. Going to school to get a certificate is to make you provide job. It's to make you be a problem solver. So that changed my orientation about the first class graduate as a whole. So while I was in 20 level down to my 400 level until I left school, all I had in mind was, what problem can I solve?
So this is way beyond the popularity and the fame that comes with the first class. It's about you getting what you want to do, what you want, the solution you want to provide
to the system,
the people, to the society, to the country.
Because that what will make you remain relevant, not the job. As long as you keep providing solution, you keep remaining relevant in the society.
Very true. This is amazing. I've really learned a lot, even in a short while. So let's look at it in this direction. Having a first class certificate or a degree, people feel like it is only for a set of people who are, they have all the resources available. Someone is washing your clothes, you have all the money and all of that. Did you at any point face any challenge while you were in school that probably could have affected you, in one way or the other?
Was
it a smooth journey?
It was never a smooth journey. Actually, life itself is not actually smooth. Talk more of getting the first class from a federal university. It's not actually easy. So coming up from a very humble background where my mom was the only person sponsoring my education, so she had to hustle. Let me use the word hustle. She gathered funds from a lot of places to pay for my first year admission fee. So even sending me stipends wasn't that easy. It was quite hard, and I had to cope with it. So I had to cook.
Wow.
So every day I had to cook. So while I was reading at night, I was cooking, because in the morning I had to go to class.
Wow.
So I had a lot of issues with finances in my year one. It was quite burdensome. Then having to face peer pressure, where other people from, would I say, well-to-do home are coming and they're saying, why are you cooking? Why do you have to cook? Why can't you just go buy food? And I know that if I go buy that food, the money I have for the month won't take me. You understand? So it was really an issue. So because time I have to go read, I have to cook. I have to wash my own clothes. So finance was actually a very, very big issue for me. Even it got to a time in second semester year one, I couldn't pay for some manuals. I had to really struggle, maybe starve myself, compulsory fasting, just to be able to buy those manuals because I have to do well academically, but it all changed in 20 level, because when I got home, I was quite bitter. But my mom was like, why are you bitter? There's nothing I can do. If I could do anything, I could have done it. Then I realized that actually she's doing her best. Then there's only one person that can actually help me now, and it's God. So I actually went to him, I cried to him, and that was a turning point for me actually, because I got to know God better. I had to stay with him because this challenge was bigger than what I could do. It was bigger than anything.
When it comes to healthy family dynamics, it's helpful to learn from positive models. For productive and enduring approach to family strength.
And when you keep running to your parents, you are not independent of your parents. You are not yet mature.
The fact that human beings misbehave does not nullify the word of God.
Once you are entering into it, assume that you are a mother or your father.
It's not a function of whether they watch secular films or don't watch secular films.
Another feature of a very good son will, it's the beneficiary has to be named.
Watch Family Focus every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. West African Time, Sunday, 6:30 p.m.
Welcome back. So before we went on break, I was discussing with Favor about sacrifice. You know, those things that you have to neglect just to get this goal accomplished. You mentioned the fact that there were peer pressures, you know, the things that your mates were doing, you were not able to do them. How were you able to justify the sacrifice? Like, how were you able to, like, pick up? How were you able to, you know, how do I put it now? How were you able to take your eyes off it? Yes, because I understand that it will not be easy.
Yes, it was never easy, and it's still not easy actually. So even living after school, there's still peer pressure. But while in school, for me, the reward was each section coming out with a very good grade. So by the time I see my result every semester, I'm like, yes, it paid off. So I'm seeing more reasons to have to pay more sacrifice. So it even becomes more tougher while you go higher. You have to pay more sacrifice, more classes. You have to deal with more lecturers.
I get.
You understand?
Sincerely, it is what it is, and you know, a lot of people find it difficult to pay this sacrifice these days. They just feel like you don't have to stress yourself, and I'm like, no, we still need academic excellence.
Yes, it's very important.
It is still very, very needed in our society.
Yes.
We don't have to cut it off because of some people and some excuses and all of that. Because talking about the financial challenges that you faced, it is enough for you to say that I just want to graduate with anything.
Yes, of course it is.
Because, like, talk to me about it.
Of course. It got to a point actually. I felt like, is it necessary for me to be in school? I could actually go learn a job, and you know, in just few years, I would be, you know, I'll be making money. I'll be good. I'll be doing well. But this was something I needed to do. I loved the academics. I had a goal. There was a reason why I wanted to study. So I didn't just want to give up. My mom was one of the reasons I wanted to study. At a very young age, she had an operation for a minor operation for appendicitis, and I said I'm going to go into the medical field. I'm going to provide solutions to people's illness. That has been my goal. So it didn't stop. Even when I wanted to give up, I always remember the fact that I want to provide solution to illness. I want to be a point of sustenance for people out there.
You know, this actually brings me to the fact that if there was not a reason before you start, there won't be a reason for you to continue.
Yeah, there won't be a reason.
So I would say that the decision you made before you started the journey was one of the major reasons why, even when every other thing was saying no,
you had to continue.
You had to just continue and just get it done.
Yes.
I really love that spirit. I think that's one of the spirit that we need to inculcate as youths. The fact that every single thing is not the time to give up. There should be a reason for you to continue. You know, I truly love that spirit, sincerely. So were you ever involved in social activities or probably fellowship activity? You know, you mentioned the fact that God came through, so I understand that you have to, like, probably at the season in your life when you know.
That's internal level. I decided to join the workforce.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, in Redeem Christian Fellowship. I joined the workforce as a 20 level student. So I've started building up from there. Internal level, I was made an executive, but I was just a vice academic secretary. Okay. Then in final level, I became the academic secretary.
Wow.
So I was actually mixed up with fellowship activities.
Yes. Because that alone I believe to a great extent it's going to take your time.
Of
Because
course it did.
definitely I have been there. You go for fellowship activities, midweek services, Sunday service.
services.
You stay back for
Executive meetings,
Tell me
fellowship.
about it. How were you able to juggle it up?
Okay, starting up as a worker, it wasn't first of all easy. So on level, on Monday you have to go for workers meeting, on Tuesday you have to go for Bible study, on Thursday you have to go for evangelism, on Friday you have to go for prayer meeting,
Amazing.
on Saturday you have to go for unit meeting, then on Sunday you have to come as early as 6 o'clock for
And
workers
you leave
meeting before
late.
normal service. Then you leave late after service and then
Wow.
so it's not that easy. So as a worker I was sort of negligent for a while, but I got to realize that God was helping me. As much as the time was being taken, but it wasn't 24 hours. So let's say on Monday I go for unit meeting, for workers meeting, it's just about 2 hours out of 24 hours, and I go to class from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Then I go for meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. So what am I doing from 8 p.m. to about the next morning? So that is my own time. So I had to devise a method for myself.
Okay, tell me
So
about it.
of course I couldn't read during the daytime because I had to go for classes. But even at means I don't have class from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I had breaks in between. Those were times for me to rest and read. So if I'm not in class, you'll see me in the library.
So I think this will bring me to the fact that you were able to time yourself.
Time management.
Like the time management was top notch because you
Very
already have the
important.
time for fellowship, you have the time for
Yes.
class activities, and you were able to put a pattern
There,
to
like,
your.
there must actually be a pattern, because if there's no pattern, you can't keep to it. For every success you must have, there is a pattern. Success comes by having a pattern. So this pattern I must follow. So I wake up in the morning, I know there's a schedule. So something might actually come
Oh,
in between, but I must be able to pay the sacrifice to pay up for what came in during the day. So
how do you pay up? Tell
not
me.
sleeping at night.
Not sleeping at
Yes, you have to
night.
pay. So if I spend maybe 2 hours joking with my friends because it's a compulsory birthday party I must attend in class, a classmate, so I'll attend the party. Of course, I'm not. I'll just go, hey, happy birthday, happy birthday. But at night, I have
No,
to.
you pay for
I
it.
have to pay for it. Yes.
So that means pursuing the first class did not stop the fact that you still had time to go for a birthday party.
of course, I could still go for a birthday party
Wow.
as long as it's still within the school environment.
But you have to pay the price.
I have to pay the price.
by not sleeping at night.
Of course.
Oh my goodness, this is just it, because a lot of people, some people feel like the moment you are trying to pursue a first class, then you don't need to have a life
Oh, no, no,
outside
no, no,
academics.
no.
But you've made me realize the fact that you can build yourself,
Yes.
time management,
Build up
skills
interrelationship.
interrelationship.
It's very, very important.
Very,
because
very-
those are the skills you use outside. When you come out of school, you're going to be working with people. You're not working with machines. You're working with people. You must have learned how to relate to people right from school. In school, you see different people with different kind of mindsets, different religion backgrounds. Ability to relate with them will also help you when you come out of school.
So, did you at any point have a reading habit, like a pattern? Because I heard you mention about pattern.
Yes, of course.
You had the point.
Yes, I have a pattern.
I believe my
actually.
viewers at home will want to learn about
Yes,
it.
I had a pattern to read actually.
Okay.
So I had to discover what worked for me best. So everybody had to look at what works for them best.
So how did you realize what works best?
Okay,
for
so
you?
I tried reading during the daytime when everybody was noisy, everybody was reading. I go to the library, but I'm disturbed. My phone is ringing. I have a class. I realized that I couldn't really concentrate. So I discovered the best time for me to read was immediately I just wake up from bed.
Oh.
So as I'm standing up from bed, I quickly
Before
say my
bed.
prayer. I'm off my book. I assimilate faster then because I'm more relaxed. I'm not thinking of so many things. I've not worked out my body yet. So I can pick up a lot of things. Then when I'm about to go to bed, I quickly go through what I've had for that day. I quickly just keep through the notes. Not like reading.
Okay.
Just like being okay, what would you do today?
Getting
Just
acquainted to what you
just
do during
sleep.
the day.
Then I wake up in the morning, I quickly read. Picking up in the morning, I could actually, for 2 hours, I could pick up what I could do for 8 hours during the normal daytime. Just that early morning.
I think my viewers at home were going to, learn something from that. Maybe I'll try to try it out too and see. I believe viewers at home too will want
Really
to
works
try it out.
actually.
So, do you have anything you like to tell people, my people at home, probably an advice or something as regards academic excellence?
Okay, personally, my advice to students outside there that are yet to get into the university and those that are in the university already, academic excellence is not something that you can is not something you can either do away with or not have. I think it's something you must have. As a Christian, you must have it. Christ had an influence everywhere he was. Christ was a scholar. Paul was a lawyer before he came into the system. So as a Christian, you must be able to have influence. We cry about the economy of Nigeria. We cry about the economy, the system, the government. Where are Christians? Because all we want to do is stay in the church. Nobody wants to go read, study. We want a miracle. The miracle starts by us actually doing what we should do. Study.
I really, really love that, sincerely. Wow, it has been an amazing time. I hope you have learned something. Now we see the reason why academic excellence is still very much important and needed, even as believers. Because if we are going to take the world for Jesus, then we have to present something. And what are we presenting? We're presenting nothing short of excellence.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope to see you some other time.